Hello, ladies and gentlemen, we're back to
What's up, part 2?
People
Isolation games.
The Isolation Games, part 2. Yeah.
Part 2.
Yes, I said.
Recap from Rob. Incoming. Coming.
Yeah. Where did we leave off, Rob?
Well, if you see on the map here, you see that down in this location here is a town called Alderkeep. Right here.
Correct.
Now, Alderkeep is a city of elves and humans, and it's where our intrepid heroes and adventurers met up. Our gnomish Alfie turned up from Lightwood, wandered towards the nearest city he found in search of adventure and a chance to live his life.
Yeah.
Our dumb but lovable Goliath giant man from the mountains.
Fun.
He was looking for purpose in life, looking for fun, and he found himself on the outskirts of Alderkeep, watching the nightly plays.
Fun.
Meanwhile, our giant metal man and his new accomplice friend, the tiefling devil-ish lady, they found themselves in Alderkeep as well, healing and helping wherever their assistance was required.
How can I be of
And
assistance
finally,
to
Zaza.
you?
And
Zaza, our flamboyant, our arrogant, flamboyant Prince Zaza came in from the Elven Islands, Enig Thilivern Islands, and in search of some way of making a name for himself.
Zaza, what have you done?
I'm back. I've lost video.
He's cast invisibility.
We just spent an hour making sure this was all perfect, and as soon as we go live, we're like, and I'm out.
It is the reason that we are 35 minutes
now
late.
is the right time to play with settings. Like,
I was just trying. I was trying. I've got two computers. I was trying to put the link to the stream in our chat that we don't have on here, and then I opened it up on this computer, and then it went, "Oh, we're using that computer."
take that.
Closing this computer, going over to that computer.
Good work, Ron. Fantastic. Sorry, continue, Rob.
All right, so you found yourselves in Alderkeep. You're about to settle down for the evening's festivities. Enjoy the Bard and the Minotaur, a lovely play that's performed from the walls of the keep itself. When there was a kerfuffle behind from a very exhausted young woman who'd ridden in, almost driving her horse into the ground to get it here on time as quickly as she could, and she was warning that the city of Wraith had fallen to orcs, or was in the process of falling to orcs. He rode south, while the messengers had never managed to receive aid from any of the nearby cities that they'd ridden out to, only to find that the orcs had preempted that and had been ambushing their messengers on the road. So she managed to barely escape with her life and finally get the warning out that the city of Wraith was under attack. And the militia of Alderkeep said, well, it's pretty late in the day now. We're sitting down to enjoy a play. We'll set off in the morning and do that instead. And she said, there will be no morning. And so they said, well, I mean, these guys who are just happened to be in the vicinity and overheard your plight, then maybe they can help. It is one of them is a warforged by it.
Well, 5 people do.
One of these guys was literally created for the destruction of orcs. So maybe just take him along and you should be fine, right?
Yeah.
No, I was talking about Alfie.
I'm a war machine. Actually, Ben, can we just get your webcam sorted again, please?
Oh, yeah, sorry, mate. Sorry. Hang on.
Thank you.
So we know that you're there. We go.
Thank you. There you go. Thank you very much.
A little further. Keep going.
Yeah. I just want to say hi.
Further, mate. Further. Go further, mate. That's better.
Considering I'm so much taller than you as a wolf.
You can see my eyebrows. That's the most important part. There's where all the emotion is.
So
now, can I? Sorry to interrupt. Sorry. Can we before we do anything, just do like a high five each other, like Brady Bunch?
Oh, we're all gonna be.
I need to be. Yeah, I'm up there and down there from you.
Yeah,
but on the stream, we're all at the bottom.
Oh, on stream, we're all on this side.
High five.
Why am I doing that? That's way easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone.
Wait, who's not in the middle? Some people are on the outside.
Oh, yeah.
Alan and Ben are on the outside.
So which side do I do? That side or the other side?
I don't know.
There we go.
High five, team.
I'm just going to high five everyone.
Sweet. There we go. Hey, good hustle, everybody.
Good hustle.
Dungeon Master is back.
And
Right,
he's
sorry.
Continue.
Continue, Rob. Sorry,
So-
that was just, I had to get it out of my system.
You set off from Alderkeep on foot, and if you look at the map, you can see that you walked. You walked about 4 hours, which is about half a day, because there was only about half a day left. And then you decided to push it for another hour, just to really get as far as you can. You made it as far as the river, about 15 miles north, before it was until Bab had started to show some signs of lagging, and so you decided we'll set up camp here and try again for more tomorrow.
Was it Bab's fault?
Yeah, it was all Bab's fault.
Bab
Here
was,
we go.
Bab was the one with exhaustion after the month.
So we
Bab,
decided
mate.
to round.
Can't hack the pace.
Really, let's be honest, it was Rob's fault. You hate me.
Because you hate me. I think he hates all of us.
It was my I am literally an omnipotent god in this world. I could have made it so that you all just teleported to the city of Wraith
Do
instantly.
you like us, Rob?
It's not much of a story if I'm just like, oh yeah, God intervenes and kills all of the orcs for you.
But that would be
Thank
easy.
you. Thank you for watching
So-
Isolation Games, everybody.
Each of our personal character stories. is like, and Zaza, suddenly you do your family proud. And
Yeah,
so,
you-
it's solved. The whole story is solved.
So he's the strongest person to ever lived. And Alfie, your wife comes back because why not?
Oh, wow.
Anyway, no, she doesn't. She's still dead.
Savage.
Oh.
So you set up camp near a nearby river, and overnight, thankfully, you have a sentry who only needs to recharge in a sentry state and can keep watch.
That's right.
And it was a particularly clear night, so that you could see there was movement in the bushes,
Oh, yes.
and you came out of your alert state to warn the rest of your party,
Yeah,
and
good work.
you found that there were Zvats attacking, tiny little blue horrid monsters, about 3 feet tall and
Oh,
look
the
like
little
old men
Thanoses.
with balding head. Little Thanoses, yeah.
Genesis.
And that's where we left off, with you annihilating them and literally smearing one across a bridge.
That's
So
right. That's right.
I will take you to
thunderwaved
that.
and exploded him from the inside out.
So if you zoom out far enough to see where you all are, and then you can
All right, we
find yourself.
with the Zvat
So-
smeared across the
yes,
bridge, all the dead
yes.
ones
So
over there. Oh yeah.
There was one severely wounded, but legging it for his life across the bridge, and you decided he's not worth it.
Rob, I really like your smearing effect. That's a cool little special effect there.
It was, as Bob Ross would say, a happy little accident. I was trying to
Oh,
move
I
him, and I
love
grabbed
Bob
one
Ross.
side of him instead of the middle of him, and I dragged him, and I was like, actually, that works.
I'm gonna roll with us. All right.
This
Here
is
we are.
yours.
So you find yourself surrounded by Zvat bodies at about 2 a.m. And what do you wish to do?
Right, time
presume-
to eat.
I presume
Right.
we need to go
Finished
back to
our-
sleep.
Yeah, have we haven't slept enough to
Well, I'm an elf. I only need 4 hours. Onwards! Onwards!
What?
Well,
I don't think that's. I don't know, man. I don't think that's
Onwards! to
What
Wraith.
we could let is just let Rowan / Zaza go on, and we'll all stay
Yeah,
there.
you can go on without you.
Zaz.
In the middle of a long
Right.
rest.
Goodbye. I'm off to Wraith.
you're joking.
All right.
Bring glory to my family.
Yeah.
How do you do
Adam. Yes, I was saying that you've had about 3 hours of a 4-hour rest. You know that because of your Warforged recharging feature, you need to not break that rest by more than a minute, or you have to start again. And with all the fighting, it's probably been about 40 or so seconds.
Cool. So I need to just where I'm standing go back to sleep.
You need to tell the rest of them I've sorted the problem now. I'm going back into recharge.
Okay, so recharge mode reactivating.
You see him just stop exactly where he is. His arm
Like-
goes down.
Literally where I am, I just go back to sleep.
And there's very little change externally from the rest of you, other than the fact that his arm's just going to sort of a neutral state, and he just stares off into the middle distance.
How
What
big
are
are these creatures that we've killed? How big are they?
they're a little bit shorter than Alfie.
Can I take little parts of their armor and make my so I use one whole chest plate for an arm and another chest plate
Yeah.
for an arm, and I just want to start. I realize I don't have enough armor.
Well,
You
look,
certainly
maybe
can
you
try.
should have
So
thought
you-
about that.
I
big
didn't have
man.
time to prep.
Are you looting their bodies then
Yeah, I'm gonna loot
For
the
that-
bodies.
for their
Sure.
armor? All right.
All right, well, I'm going to tuck
So-
myself under a tree and go back to sleep.
So Alfie heads back under a tree, while Torok starts to loot. So I will show to everyone the Zvart loot, and between the lot of them, you should be able to see all of that.
Oh,
Right.
very cool. Okay.
How do we
They have.
how do we dish this out amongst ourselves?
Can I
Well,
have
I'm the one looting, so
teacups?
this is all my stuff. Don't even.
This is all Torok. You're in a sleep state, and Alfie's under a tree.
Ah, okay.
Zaza, as far as I'm concerned, was walking away. I don't know.
Is it,
I'm
only
coming
Ellen
over
looting?
and I'm helping Turok because I want that teacup.
I want
To be
in
honest.
on this.
So as
You
Zaza
left, didn't you?
as Zaza is starting to walk away, he sees Torok actually finding things on their body, and he goes, "Oh, actually." He turns around.
I'm going
Maybe
to
being
take
in a group can be
the,
You very quickly turn from this like really rich posh person to this desperate like, oh, actually, what do you got? What do you got over here?
stealing from dead body.
my
Yeah.
family's actually in bankruptcy. Don't tell me.
I'm intrigued by 2 rusty keys.
Yeah.
What's going on there?
I don't know. It's probably shitty keys to like their shitty shit.
Yeah, probably. Sounds like, can you just be a little bit more, little bit less?
Let me say that again. They're probably
A
just
well-educated
their
wizard.
shitty keys to just their shitty shit. Onwards.
Onwards. What do we got? Do
Well,
we
you
want
never
any
know
of
what
these?
might be in a shit pile. You might need a key.
Is it possible just to take it all? Like, is it
Yeah,
so
man.
much stuff
I
that
mean-
would load up?
You have 2 different people in the party with the powerful build trait, which doubles your carrying capacity. So I'm not going to worry about the minutiae of how much you can carry. Between Torok and the and number 14, you can carry whatever you want.
I'm taking the small
Can
glass
I have
vial.
the scimitar?
I'm taking the small glass vial of iridescent substance that swirls in hypnotic patterns.
I'm taking the
Can
teacup.
you-
I'll
Mine.
stand by it.
What a
Can you,
caltrop.
Zaza, can you make an Arcana check to see if you can recognize what this thing is? Because
Yes,
it's definitely
one
got
moment.
some magical qualities.
I'm going to my.
Open your character sheet.
for,
Towards the left side under the skills, you see Arcana.
Arcana, there it is. Yes.
14. You recognize that it's got magical qualities. You definitely recognize it as a potion of sorts. You know that it is somewhere in the illusion magic because that's what you are proficient with.
Ooh.
Let me just double check that. I'm pretty sure it's illusion. But you're not, with a 14, you're not 100% sure what potion it is.
I'm taking it. Good. Thank you. It's mine.
Right, well, with all you knocking about, I can't get any sleep, so I'm going to come over and grab this scimitar.
I'm going to take the. Torok's just been learning about currency recently. That's a new thing that he's been learning about fun and currency. He's going to take all of the gold. All the gold.
money.
Fun money.
You may as well take all the silver and copper as well.
Oh yeah, so all the gold, silver, and copper. Yeah.
Anybody else wanting anything?
Well, can I
Teacup.
have-
I've said it 3 times.
Just, write
Give me
it
the
down.
fucking
Write it
teacup.
down. Write it down.
I would've
Put it
taken
in your. So what we need, we can't
Oh.
we
I'm gonna
can't
start. I'm
literally.
gonna start deleting it from the. I'm
Wait,
gonna start
don't you
deleting it
dare.
from the things.
Wait.
So,
So-
I'm saying write it in your.
That's highly aggressive. That's
So we have to
highly
we have to write it in our equipment if we're taking it. Right?
well, I'm not going to write it, man. I'm going to copy paste that shit.
Where? Oh,
Bottom
God,
middle.
Where?
Bottom
I'm
middle
gonna
of
take-
the character sheet.
Here,
I
gonna
see.
take
care.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Additional features, treasure. I'm putting in my treasure. There we go. Got it.
Yes.
I've copy
Put it on the
pasted it
second
into my
page,
treasure
you see.
section.
Scimitar.
And I'm
All
taking
right.
the two rusty keys just because who knows it could be a thing.
I don't.
Good work, Alan.
I got it.
And I got an amethyst.
Have you got everything that you want to get?
Almost.
Have
Wait.
we taken everything? We should take everything. You can take.
I don't know.
Do we really need 8 rusty old swords?
Right, I'm taking a small bag of caltrops.
A particularly shiny
Sure, write it
scimitar.
down.
That could be worth quite a lot of money.
Alfie's already got that.
I've already got the scimitar.
Ah, good.
Okay, I took the teacup.
Have you
She's got
deleted?
an old
Have you
shiny.
deleted the things we've taken yet, Rob? So we can know what is.
No, I wanted to make sure that you. I didn't delete something you hadn't accounted for yet.
Okay,
Have you
I'm
written,
gonna delete-
written
I'm
down
gonna
your new currency?
Okay, so
Alan?
I've taken the glass
I've taken the
vial
currency, yeah.
and the caltrops.
You've written that down. Cool.
Yeah, writing it down.
And I've
I'll
got
do
that
it.
written-
Is someone taking the pearl? I'm taking the pearl.
Ooh, is there something inside the scroll case, or is it just a case?
You can open it and find out if you want.
Ooh, let's have a look.
Let me open it and find out.
All right, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Uh-oh.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Oh no.
Just imagine all these
Yeah.
adventurers carrying around their dice and they go, oh god, okay, and they're like, roll the dice in the dirt.
Did I do that? There we go. Oh god, not good.
Well,
I did.
7.
I made it 7, yeah.
You open this ornate jeweled scroll case. Looks
Yeah.
very nice. You've never seen something like this before.
Yeah.
It's got like a wax seal on it. You twist and turn, and eventually you break the seal. And as you pull the thing off, a cloud of green mist into your face, and you take 11 poison damage.
Oh,
Jeez.
great.
Shame.
But he's got
You
his
were
scroll
on-
now.
You were on greater than 11 at the end of that last fight, so don't worry about it. You're not dead, and there's no further effects from it. It's just a one-off mist of
Okay, great.
poison in your face.
Should
Your
we be
coughing's
removing all
flutter
that?
and you feel it sort of burning at the back of your throat, but eventually it's gone.
Was there anything else in there, or just a cloud of poison?
You turn and look down into the thing, and you see that there is a scroll of parchment inside the case.
Oh, great. Well, I'll pull that out and read it.
Well, you pull it out, but you can't actually read it. As you open it up, you recognize that there are some common letters on there,
Yeah.
but you just can't seem to understand what they're saying. And while you look at it, it kind of almost like looks like it's just slowly swirling and shifting on the page,
Oh, this is odd.
just making it particularly difficult to understand what's going on
Hey,
with it.
annoying prince. You're a wizard. Look at that. Does that make sense to you?
It does make sense to you. This is a spell scroll that is designed to be read by wizards only.
Oh. Wizard.
And so,
Right.
Look.
Give it to me.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do.
By the rules of the street, I own it. Give it to me.
Rowan, can you roll a d20 for me, please? So
Yes.
just you can type /r space.
Over on the left here. Yes.
Yeah, just in the chat box you can
oh.
write /r space d20. That's probably the quickest way to do it.
Space D20. Oh, I did type space. Right. slash R.
Pulling teeth.
Right.
6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It is a spell that you recognize as a conjuration spell called Cloud of Daggers.
Ooh, goodness.
You know that from your arcane studies, you know that it is a concentration spell, lasts up to a minute, and in using the spell, you fill the air with spinning daggers in a 5-foot cube, giving slashing damage to anything in the space.
I'll take that. Thank you.
You also know that you
Kate
can
on
either
track.
use the spell as a one-off consumable item if needed in a pinch, or if you're given enough time, gold, and paper, you can actually transcribe it into your book, and then you just have that forevermore.
I'll take that. Thank you.
You have it then.
So, Britt, you took the teacup, didn't you?
Wait, what?
You took the teacup.
You've written you wrote the
Did I?
teacup
No.
in your.
I mean,
Oh,
No.
you're taking the teapot or something, weren't you?
Now, Rob, how do I make sure I make
No.
that's in my permanent record so I don't forget it?
What did you take?
What was
just write
that
it in
you
your
were taking?
treasure for now.
What am I
I
writing?
took.
Just write it in your
I
treasure.
took the-
Scroll case.
I took the
of
teacup, but I don't
Cloud of
want to
Daggers.
I'm going to start a
die.
third conversation with myself.
Scroll case of
Cloud of Daggers is the
Cloud of Daggers. And I can
Alright.
find more info on the Cloud of Daggers. And,
Yeah, you can.
So I think it's cool.
Bob.
Yes.
Hello.
Present.
Did you write down the teacup? Can I get rid of it from the loot?
I wrote it down. Yes, I did say. I
Cool.
did say that.
Cloud of
Did you
Four.
take anything else?
No, that's all.
No.
I took
Would
the
you like?
amethyst and the
There's still
topaz.
an amethyst and a topaz.
No,
if you
I
want.
took
I don't
those.
trust-
I took
You
everything.
took both of those.
I wouldn't
took
take
those?
another thing. Now I've seen your true colours, Rob.
I
I wouldn't take
took the
another
pearl, I took the amethyst, and I took the topaz.
We've got a shard of coloured tile left, and that's about it.
Nah, I
May
don't want
as
that.
well take
I
it.
don't want. No.
Don't take it. Look at the look on his face. Don't touch it.
He's got a plan. No.
All right, fuck it, I'll take it.
All right. Write down that you've got a shard of coloured tile.
All right.
All right, well done. You leave behind a bunch of rusty swords, some naked dead split in two zvats, and also on top of that, Tarak, you managed to get some very shitty tattered leather armor that you might be able to piece something out of.
Good.
Good.
Looking good, giant.
Thank.
Now I'm already asleep, but are you guys going back to sleep?
Yeah.
We might as well finish this damn night sleep and have a
Good
good
night.
rest.
All right.
Sleeping.
Go
All right.
myself and some leaves.
So between the lot of you head back to sleep.
Oh wait,
Zaza.
God, should I be hurt from that point?
Yes, my child. You had 11 points of hit points, but you're going to get it back at the end of this long rest anyway.
Oh yes,
and I'm not.
Gonna have a sleep and just rest it off.
Yes, just rest off the poison.
That's how poison works. Is just,
Yeah.
Just oh man, I'm a bit poisoned. Might have a quick nap.
All right, or Torok climb tree and show everybody what he's packing under his leather skirt. That he's got.
Oh God!
Oh gosh. Put it away.
Everybody watch Torok climb tree.
No, I'm fine. I'm just gonna go for a sleep myself.
I'm gonna climb up
So,
this big ass
Zaza, you head out to the water and just finish your meditation. You're about an hour from being fully rejuvenated from it, so you
I'm
just sort of sit
meditating
and
on
find
this rock
somewhere
over here. I choose to
Yeah,
meditate.
fair enough.
Fuck off, everyone.
In the river.
Goodbye.
That seems safe.
in the river. Yes. So you all head back to your respective rests.
Yes.
Alfie,
Yes.
your dream begins again.
Oh God.
Same as every night. Same as every night for the last 10 years. It gets to the point. It gets quite far through it to the point where Biggles has fallen down the thing, and you've picked it up, and then you've gone back out. You've turned around to confront him with your stick and saying, "I'm just an old man. I'm not." And he lifts his big old hand to backhand you to the side, and you see the chieftain walk forwards. Same face as before. Same darkened eyes, clouded right eye. You see the scarred, the serrated tusks.
Yeah.
He walks forwards. He lifts you up by the throat as normal, and as he reaches you past his sort of collarbone, where you see the 5-tooth necklace, his visage changes into Torok, and he lifts you up to his eyes, and then shouts, "You will be my friend," and then throws you to the ground. And from that point, your dream is kind of muddled. It's like your usual nightmare. You're sort of walking towards the door, but there's the wolf behind you is saying, "Don't go in there." And then as you turn, it's Evie, but merged with the wolf, almost like centaur-like. And
Evie,
it's
you're a
just like
half-wolf.
you can't understand what's happening. But there's different. You're already experiencing new things in the world, and it's starting to merge into your dream, and it's
Oh,
peculiar.
this is very peculiar.
Barb, as you find rest, the words of the tiny Zvats are still ringing in your mind. You're still unsure why you could hear them when nobody else could, why you could understand them. You hear their voices again and again. Let's get it! Oh, it's shiny! Oh, get that thing from there! And then it turns deeper and starts to get a little more guttural. Why won't she come back? Why? Where did she go? And then eventually it gets down here and says, "Bob, why did you leave me? Come back to me.
Dad?
I will find you." The voice starts to ask, Didn't you like having fun with me, Bob?
Ooh.
Don't you want fun?" What does Torok normally dream of?
Simpler time. Simpler time. Before he dreams of his family and the mountains. And
You dream of your family, your mountains. You dream of a time that when you were about 10 years old, so a couple of years before your rite of passage.
Yeah.
When you went out hunting with your clan, your father and a few of your larger friends, and you hunted a mountain lion for the tribe to eat, but also as kind of like proving to your dad that you can.
Yeah.
As you approach the lion's lair, the lion's den, you kind of slowed your gait, and then your father told you like whereabouts it was, and you got the realization that you were the one who meant to actually go in and take it down.
Oh.
And he was gonna be there for support and for help in case you got into trouble, but you had to take it down. And you walk in and you remember seeing it. You remember seeing its gleaming eyes in the cave, and a moment of hesitation came across you, thinking, "Is it right? Like, am I killing something that doesn't need to be killed? We do find surviving on the mountain goats and things. Should I be killing this?" But that moment of hesitation was a little too long, and the lion pounced. And as it pounces towards you, the memory changes, and the female mountain lion, the head starts to turn almost humanoid and starts to grow a little bit, the lion back half still staying as a back half, but the woman's almost centauring out into this sort of human woman lion hybrid, and it attacks you and says, "Come to me!" And then suddenly you're awake, and you're not sure what that was. You've never really had bad dreams in that sort of same grotesque way
This is
before.
my Torok's first nightmare.
Yeah.
Oh.
But you find yourself early morning sitting in the top of a tree.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Zaza's probably been fully awake and cognizant for maybe a couple of hours. What do you reckon you've been doing to pass the time, Zaza?
I've been fishing.
Fishing?
Nice
without a rod.
ain't it?
Have you just been in? Have you just been in the river, just like waiting for fish to come to you?
Well, look, I've got the little fishing symbol beside me.
Look at that! You got a little fishing symbol there. So you just pop a symbol on yourself, and it means you've got a fishing net now.
I've got a little fishing net.
So you've been fishing without tackle to try and catch fish. Can you make a survival check with disadvantage, please?
With what? What goodness! Right.
If he catches a fish with disadvantage, I'm going to be over the moon.
One moment, please. I'm just finding my everything. I am heavy here, and I'm going to my character sheet, and I'm going to core survival check. What?
Open your sheet. Click on survival. That's all it takes. Sheet, survival.
Sheet survival. Survival is.
So do your skills.
Under the skills towards the left side. Same place you found your Arcana.
Adam, maybe write this time code down to delete this bit.
Yeah. Survival, there it is. That was.
I think this is the
big
most
obvious word right there. Just
interesting.
staring me in the face.
All right, so a 9. With a 9, I'm afraid you don't actually successfully catch any fish. You come really close. You come really close to catching one this big, which you'll tell your friends was this big. But it was you didn't actually catch it, unfortunately. It's quite serene though, and quite relaxing. If a little bit not what you used to wake up to in the morning.
As I'm sitting here, I think to myself, morning, nice day for fishing. Want to say?
The next morning you all come to the robot sentry is
nice day for fishing.
is back. What do you reckon number 14's been doing to pass the time?
He's just been wandering up and down the path, just looking for either any signs of danger or anything that could be worth the taking on the journey.
Yeah, fair enough. So you've had a little scout around, a few hundred meters up ahead and back the way you came, and no other signs of Zvats or any other goblinoids or anything, any of the nasties out in the wilderness. And so you think you should be fine. Cool? Anything cool? Make an investigation check.
Okay. Investigation. 9, damn it. No.
9, no. Nothing on the way. I mean, there's pebbles and rocks and sticks and interesting looking natural formations, but nothing that particularly interesting. You make your way back to the camp just as everybody's coming to and coming out of their respective slumbers. What do you do for the morning?
Turok, trying to make conversation, exclaims, Turok have weird dream.
I also had a weird dream, and you were in it, Turok.
Ooh. Okay.
Yeah. You said we were going to be friends, so can we be friends?
Are we having this conversation among a collection of dead bodies right now?
Yeah. It smells quite bad.
Oh yeah,
disgusting.
Yeah.
That one's got its guts spilling out.
One of them is literally a
lots
puddle.
Of decomposing bodies. There are a few flies infesting the area now.
Can I ask you a question, Telrock?
Yes.
Where'd you get that necklace?
I get this necklace from Orc Chieftain, Gimrek Tagron. He killed our family, and I take.
Is he dead now, or did you just take it off him?
No, he real dead. He real dead. He real dead. I mean,
all right.
Torok fucked him right up.
Oh, I'm glad you finished that sentence because that was.
Torok.
I didn't realize you swung that way, but you have been very forthright with your genitals all over the place.
Shamed him and made him. How do Torok say? he no good time in afterlife. He have bad time in afterlife. Torok, make sure.
Torok, can you make a perception check with advantage, please?
Perception check. 20.
Oh,
20, dirty 20. Dirty 20. So with that, you sort of see Alfie for the first time. You kind of really take him in, and there's something very familiar about his face. And with him saying that you're going to be friends, you think that's an odd thing to say. I wonder what. And then you recognize that you've seen his face before in a portrait, a small hand-painted portrait that you found in a golden locket when you looted the orcs.
Oh, do you have that locket?
He hasn't said that yet.
Oh,
you. Who are you to read my mind?
Alfie casts
sorry, I just had a bleep in my head.
I recognize you.
Oh,
little man.
Where from? We haven't met before.
I'd get very close to him.
From a locket.
You're very big.
Oh, you are
glad
very
you got
small.
more clothes on now.
Considering his height, considering the height differential.
Yeah,
you can see
right
right
on my
up.
forehead.
You can see right up there.
Yeah, I gotta be careful it doesn't smack me in the face.
When I turn around too quickly.
Ooh,
Ah,
I recognize you from Locket.
what locket? What locket?
I cannot remember where Locket was from. Rob, one more time.
When you killed Gimrak and looted the entire clan army, you had a whole bunch of shit. A lot of stuff was from your clan. A lot of them was from other stuff. It's basically what you've been surviving on for the last 10 years, just selling it off.
Right. When I kill orcs, I find Locket with your picture.
Really? Do you still have it?
You do not.
No, I probably sold that.
Okay, that's alright. That was just my dead wife's locket. That would have been really meaningful to me and really made a massive difference in my life. But don't worry about it. I'm sure we'll find it again sometime. That's fine. I'm just gonna go over here and
not a big deal.
have a wee cry.
Why are you making big deal out of this?
No reason. It's fine. Just leave me alone for a second. I just need some time.
This little man is strange, right?
Yeah, strange having such strong feelings of grief from the most important woman of my life who got murdered in front of my eyes, and you nearly gave me the locket that had my... But no worries, don't worry about it. I'm just gonna take a moment. Okay, I'm back. Let's go. This is fine.
So there's clearly a link. There'll clearly be a link between us.
Yeah.
Again, real quick. Sorry about Locket. Moving on.
Yeah, that's fine.
Moving on from Locket.
What did orcs I need another moment. Sorry, I'm not quite over it. I need another moment.
I'm really wanting to move this forward, but I'll wait, I suppose.
Don't make such a big deal of it, man.
Oh my god.
Well, do not try to get into
Zaza,
you can't hear any of this.
I need to get way away from that arrogant prince prick.
Why are you making such a big deal of it, man?
Oh my god.
Torok, can you make an intelligence saving throw, please?
Intelligence saving throw.
Yeah.
So this is me going
9, 14.
9. You see how much it means to him, and you try and remember where you sold it, and you can't. You remember that you sold it a few years ago, and you remember thinking, I better sell this to a gnome, probably, because gnomes would more likely appreciate it. And so you're pretty sure you sold it to a gnome, but you can't remember where or when.
It's helpful. I sold it maybe a few years ago, probably to gnome.
Okay,
if you want to look for it.
Oh, great, yeah, I'll just go around every single gnome in Azerim and say, hey, a few years ago, did a giant thing sell you a locket?
Great. Turok, glad you helped.
I feel like
to be fair,
most
that would
gnomes would
probably
remember
quite-
that if that happened.
It is quite
Yeah,
specific,
they
to be honest.
probably would. You're right, number 14. But there's fucking thousands of us.
Well, then you only need to ask thousands of gnomes.
Right, thank you, robot. That's very helpful, and thank you, big giant man. I know you tried. And hey, Prince.
Yes.
As much as I care about your emotions, I understand the city of Wraith is still under attack, and we should probably get moving.
Oh yeah, bloody hell! I completely forgot
As
about
much
all that.
as I care about your menial things, we should go.
Menial, really. The tragedy of my life is menial.
Oh, here we go.
You guys are so lovely.
Sorry,
really demonstrating that he cares.
My language capacitors don't have many words in them. I tried to use something better, but didn't.
Yeah, that's all right. You're a robot. You can't really.
Right, shut up, Alfonso.
Oh, let's go.
To Wraith. Let's go.
Right, we go.
Off to Wraith. So I will show you back on the map here how far that is that you'll have to travel, because it's not exactly a short way.
No, we've still got a big distance to go, don't we?
So you made it 15 miles last night. You've probably got another 40 or so miles to go. So over here, you can see that you are setting off from this river here, and you're heading towards about 20 miles will get you almost. Yeah, about 20 miles will be about 7 hours of walking, which is almost a full day's walking. And then another 7 hours will get you to City of Wraith. So it'll take you at least 14 hours of walking on foot to get to the City of Wraith.
Shall
so you
we-
probably it's up to you where you rest. But there is a crossroad town right there
I was
called.
going to say, is that a
Woodstock.
town or a little outpost? That
It's
seems like the smartest place.
It
to
is
go,
a
doesn't it?
yeah, it is a small crossroad town that is specifically designed to be halfway between City of Wraith and Alderkeep for people to rest for
Right.
Right,
travel.
onwards. We're going to that place. Let's go. Thank you.
What was the name of it?
All
again?
right. It's called Woodstock.
Okay, cool.
What called what?
Woodstock.
Woodstock.
Let's do.
Onwards to Woodstock.
From my memory banks, I remember Woodstock. It will be a great place to rest for the night.
Good.
So you make your way. You make your way to Woodstock. You walk for about seven or so hours. So you've still got maybe another hour of walking before you get tired. So you could push past Woodstock if you wanted to, but you will start to get exhausted pretty soon after Woodstock. So it's really up to you where you stop. I will. Let's see.
What's the biggest
I'll
creature
keep
Alfie
going.
can turn into?
Well, I can turn
biggest
into.
what?
Creature.
I can turn
right.
into a riding horse.
Yeah, you could turn into a giant cassowary type creature, like it's a bird.
Any
from the-
creature that could have 5 or 4 people on its back.
No, not yet.
There's a cow.
Oh.
Cow's pretty
Let's
good.
try
I
that.
don't
Turn
think
into
you
a
can
cow
have
and
4
turn-
people on this back though.
Yeah, I think you'll
I'm
break
thinking-
my back if you try that. So.
He also can hold it up for an hour and a half each time he does it,
Yeah.
and only twice a day,
Torto.
twice per short rest. So
Just spitballing.
Just spitballing
so you walk,
here, ladies
you
and
walk,
gentlemen.
you walk. It
Before
is
you
a
get on my back, you need to find some pants, young man.
No. It's freeing. There's 2 Romans.
yeah.
what's
With 2
going
rounds.
on?
Zaza casts a little minor illusion of himself.
I'm just fiddling with settings on myself. Right, damn.
Magical setting.
Oh, goodness. Right.
Wow. Whoa. What is that?
There's actually a spell called mirror image that does effectively that. You can
Right.
now show people when you.
Oh
Actually have
yeah, if you
Right, when I
do
use
mirror
that.
image, yeah. Well,
Now, let me just test my mirror image. Testing.
Holy hell, there's 2 of you.
Testing.
So you
Oh, no,
walk.
there's a slightly smaller one of you.
Good.
You walk. On the way, the lot of you. What's your general walking routine? What sort of formats do you walk?
I am out in the lead as a protector.
So
Running as fast as I can to keep up.
I'm somewhere in the middle with them protecting me at the front and them protecting me at the back.
who's sort of bringing up the rear?
I feel like
Shotgun knot.
It's always good to have one strong person at the front and the back. Maybe you're the rear.
I'll Torok at the rear, but we distance back because he
Fair enough. It doesn't have to be completely straight, but just so that I have some idea of how you walk in. Number 14 leading the way, Torok bringing up the rear, everybody else kind of protected in the middle. With
I feel like we should swap number 14. I feel like I'm way ahead of you. You're at the back, like protecting everybody.
Okay, yep, I like that.
Yep. I'm at the front. Front.
All right, fair enough.
Right.
So in that case, number 14, can you make a perception check for me, please?
I can indeed. Let's get off my spells and go to my core. Perception. 10.
10 total. It's maybe only 100 yards or so behind you when you finally actually hear it. They've come upon you while you had your attention focused elsewhere. But you hear getting harder and faster, and you turn and see there are 3 people sort of staggered on horses, absolutely legging it from behind you, heading towards the front. You instantly recognize them as scouts, being that you're soldier trained. You know that these are the sort of frontline fastest runners that they'll send out to get to a battle.
Are these coming from Wraith?
Human, yeah. They're coming from behind you.
Oh, from behind us.
From Alderkeep, then.
You know, as a soldier, that they usually send out scouts, the fastest ones on the fastest horses, to try and get to the battle early to sort of assess the situation. They're usually pretty smart people with a lot of tactics and diplomatic sense, as well as strategic sense, and so they can assess what's going on in the battle, so that when the rest of the troops actually arrive, they're not going into it blind. They've got some idea of what's going on. So you guys presumably step aside for a second while they barrel past you, and maybe another. Yeah.
Could I tell anything else about them, like what faction they're from or anything? Or?
You can tell that they're human. They are dressed in Alderkeep colours, and they are lightly armoured on Alderkeep horses with barding from insignia.
So basically, in the morning, Alderkeep sent people out. Basically.
That's what it seems like. Yes.
Yeah. That's what they said they would do.
Halted.
To Alderkeep. It's fixed. Problem fixed.
with 3 people on horses.
We're pointless. No.
You there on horseback?
As they run past, they don't answer.
Fuck you. Can I try? Do I have a louder Roman voice that I can be like, right? The people on horseback, stop, please. We need to talk to you.
Maybe just let them do what they need.
Yeah, make a persuasion check.
Make a persuasion check.
With disadvantage.
12.
They just continue barreling forwards. They've got a job to do, and they're doing it. Their whole job is about getting there fast.
Okay. Well,
and so maybe we just let them do that. Short of like actually trying to, you could try and like stop them, like physically. Short of tripping them, they're not going to stop. It seems.
Nah, I don't want to do that.
No.
Right on.
So
we just continue on then?
We continue on.
We should have got horses.
Agreed.
We should have made a real effort to get horses.
Yes.
It would have made a lot of sense. It would have made a lot of sense.
A lot easier, yes. Yes, we did really dropped the ball on that one.
We did kind of go, how many miles have we got? Like 40? All right, we'll just walk.
Yeah. Torok.
And then I asked you, are you traveling at a slow pace, medium pace, fast pace? And you were like, normal, just a normal medium pace. I was like, all right, I don't think you understand the word urgency, but
we're concerned about Wraith.
Walking,
but not that concerned about
Wraith. Sorry, to give us credit, we are trying to avoid
being
waylaid by bandits. Thank you.
I do appreciate that. Yes, well done.
Maybe we can find some in the town we're heading to.
We good heroes.
So you continue on. Twilight is approaching now, and the sun is preparing to bid you adieu as you crest a hill and see before you, only another 2 miles away, the outskirts of a small crossroads town. And you know you've all but made it to Woodstock.
We're so late.
We know some creepy ass people live in this town. They always do at a crossroads.
Yeah.
Those of you who have been here before, which is all but Zaza and Alfie, know that the town was built as a necessary place of rest halfway between City of Wraith to the north and Alderkeep to the south, and with the long road running through it east to west. You all see that the town is only a couple of dozen buildings at most, and it's protected with no walls. It's got very little to raid or ransacked, and so it's escaped most of the orc pillaging throughout the years, with them attacking the City of Wraith and then heading west towards Gurdon. They don't tend to come south because they know that Alderkeep's much too protected.
Is there a? I guess we're not close enough to see yet. Is there a stables where we could buy or steal horses?
You know that there are
Steal.
stables in. You know that there are stables in Woodstock, but you're not close enough just yet.
Okay.
As you continue to walk closer, you're about a mile out. You pass a large brick sawmill surrounded by the stumps of what used to signify the further eastern reaches of Lightwood. And after the lumberyard, you walk past about a mile of crop fields and pastures, seeing large barns off the road to your right, signifying the farmland that makes Woodstock somewhat of a self-sustainable town. Finally, you arrive at the town proper, where the roads become lined with flat white cobblestone and the grass verges are trimmed and maintained. It's a quite nice, pleasant sort of town. It's kind of like a retirement village, almost.
Nice.
The first building as you're approaching the proper town is a small stone guardhouse on the left side of the road. It's housing 2 human sentries on duty, and you know that there's enough room to sleep 2 others upstairs waiting for their shifts. The 2 humans see you guys coming as a very ragtag bunch with all kinds of weird mismatched adventurers. And one of them turns and shouts upstairs into the guardhouse, "Hey, yo, look alive! Joel, Darren, come down here!" And
Darren.
Classic Joel and Darren.
and he bumps the guy on duty and says, "Look, up on your feet, Stuart." And he gets up and he says, "Hey, that's close enough now." And he pulls up a shield and puts a spear beside it and goes, "That's close enough. State your business in Woodstock. Woodstop."
We are here for lodgings.
We are trying.
Oh.
We're going to stay the night and then pass through to help the city of Wraith.
Turok wishes to keep going. Ooh,
Agreed. I don't trust none of these people.
Oh, really?
Yeah, well,
Turok,
the feeling's mutual, Devilborn. We don't want none of your trouble here.
give us horses and we go.
Can
Are you here
I
to steal horses?
Can I walk up and try and use my calming aura to persuade?
The robot
You have a
coming
calming
Give
aura.
me
my paladin calming aura.
I don't think you're the right person for this job.
Which one of us is?
I think
It's definitely
I
Alfie.
think it's
Me, I'm a tiefling. People hate me.
Oh, maybe it's Alfie. Maybe.
Yeah, people hate Bob because of her horns.
Maybe let's
What
send
about my
Alfie
horn?
forward as our negotiator.
There is a sub-race of Warforged that I created called Diplomats, who are the only ones to have complex facial mechanisms to create calming faces and things, and they can once a day actually calm hostile emotions as well. But you didn't choose that; you chose Soldier, so you're not a very calming presence. You are 8 foot tall and built to be intimidating. You're meant to be intimidating.
I'll hang back then.
So
I feel like I'm not use here.
Fails, it comes back.
you start to walk forward, and they all bring up their shields. Now the other 2 join in them as well. There's now 4 guards on duty with shields and spears.
Let me handle this.
No,
here we
I would
go.
not. You prick. You're going to piss them off.
Yeah.
Let me handle this. Right.
Turok.
You there. Listen to me.
Yeah.
How do
We
you
do
do
not speak for the rest of us.
Go. Let me explain our situation here. I'm just a sweet phantasmo from fantastical Phantasmania.
If
They're
I could
looking at each
feel
other very
embarrassment, I would be embarrassed.
Okay,
Stop doing this.
come back now. You're
Zala,
done.
can you make a performance check, please?
A performance check.
Oh my
now.
god, I hope it's so bad.
Cool.
Character
Is there
sheet,
an actual
10
performance?
places your arcana.
Oh yes.
Natural one.
Performance 13. I mean, it's not bad. It's not bad. There's
God damn.
one of them says, "Here, Robert, it's not actually that bad," and he goes, "Shut up, Joe." And he says, "It's not the point, is it? He's not. Are you here as a bard? Are you going to perform in the pubs?"
Yeah,
No,
well,
look,
yes.
look.
Shut up.
Ah, God. Ah,
We are a traveling company of entertainment.
what?
Right, you're entertaining.
I mean, yes, we are.
I am
Same.
Zaza the Great. I'm a well-known singer performer. We would like to stay. We'd like to stay the night.
We're gonna just lie, are we?
He's good.
Alfie, shut up.
I am Vengeance Hunter. I am also entertainment.
What's your party? What's your act? I don't understand it. And they kind of start to lower their shield a bit.
Yeah, yes.
Do your little song thing you do.
Ah, yes, song thing.
The one that was enjoying your song before puts his shield right down, and he's just like resting on the blunt end of his spear.
Big boy Charles, the short guy. You.
What?
Lay down a beat.
You don't even know my name. My name's Elsie, you
Big boy Charles. Big boy Charles. Big boy Charles. Lay down a beat.
Oh, yes.
The other two start to put their things down now. It's only the middle one that's holding his.
My specialty is high-knee jigs.
Vengeance
Can you
Hunter.
make a performance check, please?
Performance
Oh my
check.
God.
I also have a
Oh,
special.
shit.
Can we get a techno beat? Can we get some sort of techno beat going for our Warforged?
You do a high knee check
Techno Viking. Go for
on
it.
the very front of it. you slip off and
Yo.
slam down on your hip. And being that your size is relatively small and all of your equipment must be in a backpack almost as big as you are, you just topple top end heavy and fall over and start to roll back down the hill that you just walked up to get to.
I'm like,
And three of them
back up.
Three of them are now in hysterics. They are laughing their asses off. The middle guy goes, "All right. Yeah, I get you. I get what your act is. That's funny. Yeah, all right. Come on, then. You're
see,
funny."
I do a funny dance where I purposefully fall over.
We are
That
a
is
comedy
funny, that's a
dance
good-
troupe.
That is a good jester act, and to like offset it with like the guy who can't even smile or nothing. That's funny. That's like deadpan. That's proper deadpan humor. Have you heard that deadpan? Yeah, I've heard of it. It's really funny stuff where they don't make on like they're just making
This
a
is
joke.
not
And they think they're
funny.
being
We
real
are here to
serious.
save Wraith.
Vengeance
Look
Hunter.
at it. That's deadpan. Is that? That's funny.
We are here to save Wraith.
You're here to what?
Oh, Torok understand. No.
To rave. To
Can't
rave.
be. We're here to save Rave.
We are
Oh, to have a
raving.
rave.
Yeah, you know.
So the guy who was originally on duty says, "Listen, Joel and Darren are about to start their shift, and Stuart and I are off to pub. We can take you to pub if you want. Which one are you performing at?"
The Randy Ralph Tavern.
Just
Randy
don't
Ralph.
say a specific one. Just say the main one.
Why would you take that gamble?
The main one.
The big one.
The big one.
That's how we know it back where we come from. It's known as the Randy Ralph. You probably know it as one of the.
Oh, the pig and blanket.
That's the one.
Yeah, pig and blanket's probably
Yes.
rowdiest, randiest one, eh?
Yeah.
So, right, yeah, all right, fair enough. We'll take you then. And he turns around and
Thank you.
puts his
Lead the way.
Torok.
And he leads you into the
Am I
town.
the only one worried about this, or?
Oh, Torok.
Also worried.
Torok feel like this leading us down big rabbit hole. Wraith, genuinely, I can see fires burning on the horizon.
I see fire inside a mountain.
Are we performing?
I see fire. Anyway,
Taking
continue.
an evening out
Okay,
to just have a little.
Torok's breaking away from the group because he's just like, I'm like, nah, I'm not part of this. I'm gonna try and find a horse and ride ahead and see what's going on.
Oh,
Fair
Torok,
enough.
don't be such a killjoy, man.
Torok's in favour of continuing throughout
I'm
the night.
continuing. Yeah, I'm gonna just ride
Barb
hard.
also.
Alright.
Barb does not like crowds of human people, so she's
Yeah.
not about this life. She doesn't
Hey,
want to go in
Bob, give us one of your poems.
there. Slam, poetry, yelling, waving my hands a lot. Specific point of view.
I like that.
I don't understand it. I've
This
never
is
really
21
understood
Jump
it.
Street reference. No one got that.
Bob.
no, this is
Oh, no.
really good.
Barb, would you like to follow me with Torok?
Yes, I would. I mean, yeah, I would.
Right,
Maybe-
I'm
maybe-
coming
Are you-
with you. I'm not staying here with
Yeah,
you.
I think
Oh.
Zaza's off to do his own thing at this point. Like, you perform if you want.
Yeah, I
to
was gonna say that's 4 of the 5 of you are trying to split off from this group now. That's all of the group. Zaza, are you following the 2 guards that are leading you through the town?
Are we not stopping for the night? For a
No,
rest?
I want to keep going.
We are going to be pretty exhausted by the time
We're going to be
get to Wraith,
exhausted,
though.
but the city of Wraith has been burning.
We could
This whole
just sleep
time.
outside the walls, or we could.
Guys, you don't think we should rest here?
Yeah, well, I think we should. We've been walking for miles already today.
How long have we been walking for, sir?
You've been walking about 7 of the 8 hours that you can walk any day without pushing exhaustion.
This
Every
is supposed
hour
to be a
after
rest
8 hours.
post.
If we find horses, does that count on top of our exhaustion?
No, because it's not restful to ride a horse fast. It's proper work, and so
Yeah. Oh no, I'm just saying.
And so anytime-
does it add to our exhaustion riding the horse?
Yes. So anytime
Okay.
that you travel for more than 8 hours in a day, you have to start potentially getting exhaustion.
All right.
If you've got a high enough constitution, you can go for ages without getting it. But the one time that you fail, you're con save.
We shouldn't go down the rabbit hole of performing it.
Look, Can I walk up to the 2 guards and confess?
Sure. You as I said, the one that you know to be called Stuart is sort of pointing out some buildings on the way,
mate,
and
come here.
he turns around. What's up?
I have to apologise for this weird prince we're travelling with. Because he decided to make up a weird lie that we're a travelling entertainment troupe.
How very dare you!
Oh, shut up. Listen, we're trying to save the city of Wraith, and we just need a place to sleep. We don't have time to perform a minstrel act for all and sundry. Is there
The small man is telling the truth.
The 5 of you here at Save the City of Wraith.
Yeah.
Like I say before, but you think joke.
I'm gonna show some of my
Save it with
skills.
laughter and performance and entertainment.
Oh my god, give it up, Preds.
Zaza, you stay
Listen,
here.
listen,
You do
listen.
not come any further with us to Wraith. You stay.
Can I use my athletics to show how much of a great fighter I am to prove to them that we're going through to save the city?
Make an athletics check.
Actually,
18.
18.
So I do
so
some
one of them
like
starts
special.
one of them starts to kind of like laugh at you for being like, you're not going to save the city wraith from nothing, and then you reach down and you grab a tree stump that's nearby, and you just snap off a huge chunk of it. It like uproots one side of the root, and then pull it out of the ground and just wave it, and as dirt clods are just falling off of it.
Not bad.
And also, Stuart, I have noticed you have a small cut on the side of your arm, and I walk up to him and I lay on hands.
Ooh, very good. How much do you give him? You can choose how many hit points to give him.
It's just a small cut, so just 2 hit points.
2 hit points. Small cut would be even 1 or less.
One.
You give him 1 hit point, and you heal up a small graze that he had, and he went, "Oh, that's handy. Is that? I've heard about you. You're them.
Continue.
You're them that were created for the war, eh? Great war."
Yes,
that's right.
I am indeed. I am a warforged. My name is number 14. Me and my crew, as Elfie has mentioned, are moving through towards the city of Wraith to help them.
Well, I mean, they need all help they can get, but I think it's too little, too late. They'll have been fallen, but now I think it's fully orcs at this point.
Oh
shit!
I mean, you can do what you can, but I mean, they've been attacking for the last week, and they got in yesterday. So
we go very slow. We go very slow.
Well, I have
do you know, Stuart, if there might be some horses around that we could get there quicker in the morning?
I mean, we've got horses here, but no, stableman won't want to rent you them. Like, you'll have to buy them.
What if we perform for them? What if we perform?
How much would it cost?
Stop going for the performance thing.
How much would it be to buy some horses for the 5 of us?
I mean, a good riding horse is usually around 75 each, but for someone your size, gold, of course, gold. What else do we use?
It's copper and silver.
What about berries?
Could we
a good riding horse is about
theoretically make
75
that
gold,
much
mate.
from a performance or not?
I mean, if there are certain performances you can do, and he sort of gestures across the road, and you see a couple of very attractive women standing next to a very attractive man who are standing on the corner, kind of giving you the eye. And there's some performances you can do, earn some money.
Sell bodies, Zaza, make us money. Go.
Zaza, go.
Right.
Listen, I didn't even finish. A good riding horse is about 75 gold, but for something of your size, and he points to you, Torok, and something of your size, and he points to you, number 14, he says, you'll need a war horse. And I don't know if we've even got 2 war horses in this town.
Well, it
And they
sounds
can
like
run.
we need to walk then.
Do we need 5 horses?
No. I mean, whatever. Like, he probably doesn't need one, and he points down at the little man.
Hello.
Like, he can probably fit on anyone's horse, but
Well, then,
these two need their own. For sure.
it seems like, Stuart, horses may not be the way for us tomorrow morning, but would you be able to point us to some lodgings for the evening?
Aye, we were going there.
Great, well, maybe we should stop talking and instead do that.
That's a bit
Alright.
rude.
I tell you one thing, we're bloody efficient. If
He turns and continues to day, and then you see the 3 attractive women and the attractive bloke start to walk over towards you.
Oh.
They're all human. They're all human. They're all about
we
late
sleep.
20s, early 20s, I'd say. And
Who fancies
one of
a
them,
drink?
one of the women walks over to you, Tarok, and says, "Oh wow, you're big. You in proportion, are you?" And she kind of like grabs you by the bicep.
is.
Yeah,
Yes.
we have seen
Alright.
it.
can't
Torok has
just
no time.
ask him that.
Torok needs to go. Torok needs to go.
Dismissive.
Don't distract. But you
Protect
The,
Torok at all
but
costs.
you're very pretty.
The
Torok,
attractive
why don't
fella-
you lighten up a little bit, big man?
As you
is
say
going
that,
on?
Zaza, the attractive human fella comes over to you and says, "Ooh, an elf. I don't see many of your kind round here.
Well, yes, I'm of royalty. I'm Prince Zaza. I'm from the.
You see
Elven
many?
Isles.
You see many humans?"
I prefer to dabble with my own kind, but you know.
Well, there's new experiences. What life's all about, innit? And he puts his hand on your shoulder.
Don't touch me. I mean, I'm fine with like talking and stuff, but don't touch me. I'm Prince.
All right.
Yeah, that's
Whatever
fine.
you're in.
Yeah,
Anyway,
you don't
we-
deal with him.
He's a prince, Dominique. Look, he's a
I'm
prince.
a prince. So anyway, but let me finish. We're looking for lodgings. We are performers. We are also here to perform at Wraith, and we'd like to sleep down.
I don't think these lovely ladies and gentlemen are the people to ask for lodgings. We should probably follow our old mate
Zaza.
Stuart over here.
Stop just asking everybody for lodgings.
Uh,
Stuart's already taken us to lodgings,
We're
mate.
literally
You guys
going to
turn
lodgings.
round.
Let's go
seeing you're
then.
not following,
Hey,
say,
hey,
all right, that's
hey.
enough. Emma, piss off. And
This is
shoos
how you
one of them
almost
away.
got date raped, Zaza. And I'll be
Yeah.
Is that what that was? I was wondering about that. Yes. Anyway, continue. That strange man.
The two guards shoo off the 4 potential suitors, saying they're not interested, and if they are, they'll be at the Pig and Blanket. Piss off.
Maybe
And they-
later. Yes.
Maybe
and then
later.
they continue to lead you through the town. There's a few nice trees and verges and things, but eventually you get to, and I will move you onto the page. Here.
Ooh, what's this?
Oh.
Oh, it's too zoomed in for me. I'm going to zoom out.
Right. Oh yes.
Ooh.
I say, look, very good. What?
There we go. Oh, quite a lovely town.
Yeah, which building is the what are you calling it? The barb and something? What is it?
The Pig and Blanket.
The Pig and
The
Blanket.
Pig and Blanket.
I've got a bar. Go me.
They walk off over this way, and then they head inside the building here.
I'm
Alright.
following. I'm
Right, are
following.
you guys coming in?
I'm following.
I follow.
All right. So you enter the bar. You see that there is a woman behind the desk. Let me just check something real quick. Move
I
that
like
guy
the art
to
style. It's very cool.
move that guy to the object layer. There we go. So looking around the bar, you see that there is a woman behind the counter behind the bar doing barmaid things. There is a woman over here just coming out of the back room. You're just darting around the room all over the place.
Barb literally running around the room.
Barb is just like a hyperactive child, just
Settle
fucking
down.
all over the fucking room,
Bob,
Can't
maybe this
sit
is
down.
why people don't like you, but
terrifying everyone because she looks like a devil. Where am I gonna sit?
BRB.
The two guards go and have a seat in the corner. They say, "Hey, Christy, we've got some performers here to perform for you. I'm not sure if I don't know. They said that they are. They said they're not. Or they can't make their mind up. So they might perform or not." And she goes, Well, that's they're welcome to perform. We're always happy to have more entertainment at with fellas.
Performance scheduled for tomorrow. We sleep, no performance. Performance is not tonight. Did you know of performance? No, you didn't know of performance. So why would you just accept random performance? We sleep.
All right, mate.
Sleeping and we go.
All
Starting
right.
to think that Torok has performance anxiety, like he's afraid of crowds, or like speeches,
We
maybe.
do not have time.
Listen, lad.
Call your
She
fear.
comes out from behind the bar and wanders over to you, Torok. If I can grab her and not you guys. And she sort of like puts her hand out. It's okay, bud. You don't have to perform.
People just keep talking about, and I'm trying to stick to mission, but they make it very difficult.
All right, hey,
You're
Torok,
fine,
come over here.
You're welcome.
Calm
You're
down.
welcome to come in and have a drink and have something to eat and just chill out. And if you feel like performing, you can, but you don't have to. It's fine. We weren't expecting a performance tonight, so it's fine. We're not losing. We're not losing out.
Okay, I push these two to the side and then like.
Oh my God, you're such a big lad.
Time for our performance.
I don't need food and drink, so I'm going to stand outside and keep watch.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Well, wait. There's a lot of things happening.
I said outside and I meant just in the doorway.
Yeah. There's a lot of things happening, and I needed to get to the rest of the description of what's actually in this tavern that you can see. So you see that there's just a commoner couple just at the nearby table that's just having a drink and chilling out. The two guards go off into the corner to sit with a blue-haired gnome. In the other corner, there is someone who's just nursing a drink, seemingly a monk from his hairstyle. And next to him is a very shady kind of fella who's just sitting with a dark traveller hood up and a thin green scarf across his mouth.
That's Aragorn.
That's Aragorn.
Very little.
Alfie, ask him about your locket.
Alfie, this is one of the thousands of gnomes you need to talk to.
I'm gonna. God's sake, give me a second.
As you turn this and see the gnome and start to say this out, you see that it's he's about 3'6". He's got blue hair. He's got a very broad nose, and he turns towards to see what the sound is, and then he sees you, number 14, and he just drops his cards.
Hello, small man. How are you doing today?
You actually recognize him, number 14.
Whoa, you look familiar, little gnome. Now that I look closer at you, my servos have finally realized who you
Number
are.
14, you do not need to explain everything that goes through your head.
He gets off his chair and falls down to the ground, and then he toddles over to you, and he goes, "It's actually you. Oh my God, it's actually you. It's number 14, my boy. My child!" And he lifts his hands up to you, and you realize it's Freddy. This is your creator.
Sorry, it has been so many years, Freddy. It's lovely to see you. I cherish the times that we used to spend together in your laboratory.
Is this your dad?
Oh my God, you're still alive!
Yes, I guess the word you would use is father.
I'm requesting drink. Give me a drink. This drink.
So you walk over, you grab a drink. Christy, the bartender, asks you what you like and grabs you an ale or something.
Just anything.
I'll grab one too.
Subtract a few copper for that. And she
Father
goes,
and son having so much fun. Look at them over there. They're gonna have a drink, gonna catch on up. Yeah, they're probably gonna dup. Yeah.
Can you make a performance check?
Hopefully with a massive disadvantage.
Right.
It was gonna just be a straight roll until you went dooba da da to fill in for lyrics, and so this is at disadvantage.
Performance.
2.
A 2 with disadvantage. That's a natural 1. You're just completely ruining the moment. Everybody else is looking around
Yeah, this was a lovely moment of father and son.
Reunion.
Making up a song.
I'm sorry.
This is the first time that most people have seen a Warforged ever. This is the first time that most people have ever seen a Goliath. This is also the first time that most people have seen a Tiefling.
I'm gonna get up.
They all walked in together, and one of them reunited with a gnome father somehow, and Zaza just completely fucked up all of that moment.
I'm actually going over to Zaza and I'm giving him a little shove. I'm like, stop. Like, I will mess you up. Stop.
Hey, big man. Hey, big man. Back off.
No.
All right. Hang on.
This guy gets up and walks around to the other side, and he kind of nudges the guards, and he's like, "There's something. Be ready." And the guard's like, "It's all right. They're just eccentric
you keep
traveling
trying to
performers."
You keep trying to distract party. You keep delaying us. What is your motive?
Hey, big man, back the truck off.
What is truck?
Hey now.
What is truck? Stop saying words that don't mean anything.
Hey. Big man and annoying prince.
I like Alfie's like between them, and you can't actually see him. He's just between.
Alfie, take my side here. Zaza is wasting time.
Yeah, well, look,
Hey.
I think having a big fight is going to waste even more time. So
Hey,
If we
big
just
man.
Get rid of Zaza.
Hey, big man,
What?
you need to lighten up. Hideous laughter.
Ooh, all right. So this is going to become
Hideous.
PvP.
Oh,
This is
God.
going to become PvP. PvP works
Okay.
only in very certain circumstances in D&D, and it's only when both parties agree to it.
No.
So I turn
Oh.
to the victim and I say, "Do we want this to go ahead as for part of the story? Do we want PvP or not?"
No, I want to just teach him lesson and leave.
All right. So Zaza, you cast Hideous Laughter, and he automatically takes a 20 on the saving throw, and it does nothing, unfortunately. He succeeds against your on his Wisdom save against your spell, but you do need to mark off the Hideous Laughter spell.
I can't believe you would just throw a spell at him.
That would have made some
rude.
great content, but I guess not. Just taking it off. One
All
off.
right. Now look, there's spells being thrown about the place. We're in a bloody tavern. You don't need to start fighting and trying to make each other. Just calm down.
You notice that the rest of the tavern have been ushered across by the barmaid, the waitress rather, and she has started to clear out these two tables. And you see, as she clears out the tables and chairs, you see that there's a lot of old bloodstains on the floorboards here. This is what forms for entertainment in this bar often. And she says, "Well, if you're gonna fight, do it here." And this is the fighting corner that she clears out for you guys, expecting that there's some fisticuffs gonna start.
Right.
What
well,
do
I'm
we-
Meanwhile-
getting out of the way.
Meanwhile, while you two are arguing, you have a small blue-haired gnome with some dark goggles on his forehead, just like hugging onto your leg, and just sort of weeping. I never thought you were still alive. They told me they decommissioned everyone, but I didn't want to believe it. I never saw your parts. I never saw your parts come into the workshop, and so I thought that I knew you were still out there.
Yes, Father, I've been wandering around the world. I feel a sense of satisfaction going out and helping people.
Of course you do. That was what I made you for.
Yeah, I pick him
Oh,
up.
I'm
he's
so
not
proud.
at my leg. I pick him up and just hold him on my, so he can
Yeah.
sit on my arm.
You hold him.
Oh.
And he's sitting on your arm, and he's up at eye level now, and he goes, if I'd known you were out there, I did ask the High Sorcerer Baradoon to find where you are, because he still has control over you. And he points to the yellow tourmaline in your forehead. He says he still has orders to give you, apparently, but I don't know if he even knows it. He never gets back to me. He's useless.
I haven't
He
heard
dismisses
word from
me.
the High Sorcerer in many years.
Well,
Oh.
I think he could order you around if he needed to, but I just never heard from him. He's always doing off his own thing, and I always pass word on to get to High Sorcerer Baradoon, and they never tell me that. They say, "Oh, I will pass the message on," but they never. Anyway, I'm glad you're here. Everybody, this is my son. This is my creation. This is number 14.
Here.
And I try to.
Bravo!
I try my best attempt at a smile.
just a complete no change in his appearance at all.
Yeah.
He's smiling in the eyes.
It's like that Terminator, you know Terminator where he goes like, he goes,
Yeah.
like Terminator 2.
Yeah, it's a minute. It's so good.
I
Alright.
am feeling the emotion of joy at seeing you again, Father.
I know you are, and he pats you on the pauldron. And then just as you cast Hideous Laughter, and you see it not affect the simple mind of your Goliath friend, you also hear a little gnomish voice shout out, "This is my son, everybody!" what's going on back over in the fighting corner.
Is that's where we are right now?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought
simultaneous stories.
in the corner. That's still happening.
Barb's doing some ducking and weaving.
Hey,
getting ready for the
my
fight.
agility. Well, we
Hey, back off! Hey.
Okay. I didn't know it was like that. No, I go only if you begin to take this serious.
Hey.
Take this serious. This is city burning.
Hey. Back.
What?
I'll do whatever I'm Prince Zaza.
I just leave. I'm like, I just let him argue with himself. Okay, well, you're pointless.
Talk to me, trying to tell me not to do what I'm doing. I think I
Drink.
would say.
What drink?
Bloody do what I'm saying.
She hands out another drink and says, "Well,
big man,
I'm taking a drink outside." No, I'm gonna go.
you did say you were gonna be."
Oh, we lost you.
You don't have to. She gives you the tankard. She gives you like a goblet, effectively, and you can take it outside.
I'm gonna go outside.
I'm still.
Yeah. I'm gonna go sit in tree with beer over here.
Can I speak to you, gnome? I tug on his leg. Hey, hello.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
He turns and looks down from his lofty perch.
I pick Alfie up in the other arm, so I've just got a gnome on either arm.
He was perched on top.
Oh!
He's just holding his arms out, like in some sort of a horrible sort of exercise that would get really heavy for most humans. But he's just able to lock in some sort of what passes for tendons, and it doesn't even affect him at all. So you've just got perches.
There's a floating ear.
What is that?
That is.
I think Barb silenced you.
Oh.
Yeah, that is Barb casting silence. Did you actually cast silence?
I might have.
I mean, do it. I mean, if you want, then you can cast off that. You can.
That's not a bad idea.
So mark off the spell, Barb.
How?
You
doing it.
as your Prince Star, blah, blah.
Can you move it ever so slightly so it's not affecting us?
She goes, "Oh, isn't this?" The bartender says, "Oh, isn't this?" She just completely goes silent. Well, the waitress says, "Hey, are you all right?" And she walks towards her. Christy, you've just gone.
Chaotic neutral is what I'm saying.
Meanwhile, you're now perched on top of one arm each, across from a gnome who's a little bit taller than you. His nose is a little bit broader. He's got long blue hair and he's got braided beard in two light plaits.
You're listening to me?
Okay.
Are you listening to me?
You're completely silent. Right.
He walked out.
Right. Well, first of all, hello. My name's Elfie. What's your name?
Oh, hello. It's lovely to meet you, Alfie. My name is, when I find it, because it's a long one, because gnomes always are. My name's Freddie Bunnyhunt Ovid Lipslap Slimmershrug. It's
All right.
Lovely to meet you.
Lovely to meet you too, Fred. Now, weird question, but I don't suppose at any point you bought a locket off that gigantic man that just walked outside.
Have I? I've not met that man before, so no, I haven't.
Didn't think so.
Can you make? What would this be? Can you make a perception check, please?
Sure can. There we go. A perception.
Natural 20. That'll do it.
I'm a very perceptive boy.
So you are familiar that gnomes tend to very much indulge in names. They get names from everyone in their family. They get nicknames throughout their life. They just love names and they put them all together. So you're familiar with sort of listening out for names and the different meanings of each of them. Particularly, he said his last name, Slimmershrug.
Yeah.
Which, if you remember,
yes, that was
your wife's maiden
name.
You also see some sort of family resemblance now that you hear the name.
Hang on. Did you ever know a female gnome called Evie?
Evie? Yeah, I've known a few Evies.
Well, which Evies? Did you know an Evie that lived in Lightwood?
Aye, my cousin.
Your cousin?
Aye.
That was my wife.
Evie?
Yeah.
Evie Slimmershug?
Yeah, Evie Slimmershug. She was my wife for many, many years. Hundreds of years.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Make way for Turok. You're ordering that up.
God, well, watch out.
Boom, boom, boom. Smashes past you. Walks in.
You'll get used to him and his gigantic dick and balls swinging all over the place.
Oh no, he is silenced. He's trying to order a drink, but he can't because of the silence effect.
She assumes that she knows what you're talking about because it's the same thing. So you've only said 3 things to her, and they've all been one more beer. And so she assumes it's the same again, and she just hands you a beer.
Thank you very much. Get out of the way.
Wait, Talrock, did you pay for that?
Yes, I think
It doesn't look like you did. She looks very angry. Hang on, I throw her a copper.
It tings onto the desk without actually tinging.
Yeah.
She sweeps it up.
It tings now. Sound effect's gone.
And we hear what you're saying, Zaza.
Everybody listen to me. I feel so left out of this conversation, and I have to sing to myself. Sorry.
The man and his wife start to leave the establishment, being that there's seemingly not going to be any sort of entertainment tonight, and even though 2 massive 8-foot-tall creatures didn't walk in, apparently it's not a fight. So it's.
I'm just gonna, Father Brady, we are heading towards Wraith because we are looking to stop the destruction of the city via the orcs. We are looking for lodgings tonight, and then we're going to head off in the morning once we are all rested.
Oh, you're a good one. You're still on the orc hunt.
Make way, Turok.
You're a great one of you. Here comes again. She goes, you didn't pay for that last one, love. Am I starting a tab for you?
No, I threw some copper at I gave you a copper, didn't I?
Oh, thank you.
It's 3
Make
copper
way for Turok. Coming through. What's this guy's deal? What are you up to?
You walk over to the corner, and as you walk towards him, he shifts and pushes past the monk that's sitting there.
What's that guy
just
up to?
keeping across the other side.
Guys, what's this guy doing?
I don't know. He's probably scared of you giant Hulk.
Bab, as you walk over to him, as you just have, and then on top of him, and just start grinding on him, apparently. You just jump his bone. You walk over to him, and he turns to you, and in a voice quiet enough that only you can hear it for the people around, he just looks deep in your eyes, and you see that you can only see him from sort of the bridge of the nose up, and his skin is quite tan and looks a little bit ill-defined, and his eyes are just dark in shadowy pools under his very heavy brow. The rest of it's kind of shadowed by a heavy green cloak that he wears. He kind of looks towards you and says, "What's your name?"
Oh, what's happening?
Oh, I think Barb quite likes him.
My name is Barb. What's your name?
Can you make you make a deception check? Don't ask me why.
Don't ask me why. I'm making it currently. Wait, where is it? It's on here. Chef's kiss.
Right.
That's a natural 20. Thank you very much.
All right.
No, it's a 15.
Well, it's a 15, but it's a 20 though.
You don't see his eyes shifting at all. He's just staring directly at you. He's not checking you out. He's not looking up and down. He's just staring at you.
Want to play this game?
All right, it's on.
Go attack. So I rolled really well, and he's given me no information.
Yeah, what the F?
What's that about?
You rolled a deception check, not an insight check.
So sorry, can you repeat your name?
No, deception.
Wait, I rolled a deception check? What do you mean?
I asked you to roll a deception check, and you did.
Yes, I did.
So it's fine. It's just you're not going to get information from that because that's not an information check.
Okay.
If you want to know information about this guy, you can roll an insight check.
Make way, Toro coming over. I go for his... Put off. What is your deal?
He shifts around as you approach.
Okay, well, I'm just going to keep going. I'm coming for you.
You're really cramping my style.
As you walk around, he vaults over the bar in rather a nimble...
Oh, yeah, I can't do that.
And he walks around and out into the...
Oh, no, stop him! Number 14, stop him!
Can I stop?
Good one, big man. Good one.
Torok, we had something going there and you just stepped all over it.
It was taking too long.
Oh, damn.
You're a very impatient giant, aren't you?
I'm going upstairs to bed. Is that where bed?
A fella comes out from behind the hall and says, "What's going on here, love?" And she says, "Nothing, Tim. Just some business, some unusual business, to say the least." And he looks around you and says, "My, we haven't had your kind in here before. In fact, or your kind. We have had one of your kind." He points to you, Torok. But that's one of them. That's one of them war machines, isn't it? And he looks over to the door, and Freddy says, "Oi, it's one of mine."
Hello, I am number 14.
Well, bloody
I
hell.
just realised I'm kind of related to you, number 14, by marriage.
Oh, I suppose so. What did you be? Cousin once removed. Cousin once removed by marriage.
Second
Cousin
cousin
once removed in law.
We're family.
Aye.
That warms my heart.
Lovely to meet you.
Yeah, it's lovely to meet you too, Freddy.
Bab, do you just let him go?
The guy, my date.
Yep.
My boyfriend. No, I chase after him. I'm desperate.
Your bodyguard, your big friend chased him off, thinking you were in danger.
I'm like, it's been hard to date on a ship. I'm going after him.
It looks like he's long gone.
Good.
I'm going after him. Where you go, buddy?
Good one, big man.
Oh,
Hello?
I'm so sick of this. We need to rest and go to Wraith. Wait a minute. Oh, he's right there. He's right there.
You need to learn to stop and smell the roses, big man.
Yeah.
As you walk around the corner,
What did you
as you
say?
walk around the corner, a hand comes out and grabs you. Can you make a contested athletics check, please?
Doing so. It's on my skills, am I right?
Acrobatics, your choice.
Ooh, athletics. It's alright.
Athletic.
Nice.
That's okay, right?
The alcohol is starting to get to Toro, by the way, and he's getting more pissed off about Zaza continuously calling him big man. This fight is starting to sound very appealing.
As you walk past the edge of the building, there, a large hand comes out in a thick leather glove, grabs you by the wrist and yanks you into the corner here.
Oh goodness!
And then he steps around in front. He steps around in front and puts one hand beside your head and leans in again and says, "Where are you from?"
Ooh. Well.
Not everything is seductive, Brett.
The character's so desperate. She's just like,
Love's a strong
a
man.
man's looking at me.
Well,
She's getting swept off her feet. Apparently, she just doesn't know.
I don't really know. It's like a whole thing, you know.
What do you mean?
They don't. I mean, I don't have a history. I'm not like other girls.
You should ask him if he's seen Jason Bourne the movie.
Have you seen this movie? It's about this guy and his name's Jason, and it's kind of like we're related in a way. Like my life is his life. I don't have a background, you know. I'm a weirdo. I'm a freak. I'm so.
I feel like the word is amnesia, isn't it?
I'm just quoting Riverdale episodes. Okay. What about you? Where are you from? Let's talk about you.
How old are you?
Wow! Straight into it. I am a legal age of consent, sir, if that's what you're asking. I'm 35, am I? Yeah.
You've been conscious for 35 years.
Yeah, I'm about 35, but I don't really remember having a childhood before that. So I'd probably say I'm a lot older than 35 then. I'm doing the math. Weird that you brought that up, because now I've never thought about it before.
The first time in 35 years that you've thought about how old you were when you first spawned.
So weird.
Now that you mention it,
I was about I was about 20 years old, just judging on my physicality when I woke up. And it's been 35 years. So, I mean, you do the math. Why?
You do not remember.
No, I just told you. I don't have a memory. It's gone.
Can you make another deception check, please?
Oh, what is
Meanwhile, what are the rest of you doing inside?
I'm drunk and I'm going, yelling to Zaza. I'm just like, you stop being you.
How do you do? I see you've met my handy big man over the other side of the bar there. He's just a little strung out because when I bummed him out, he was like, "Oh man,
dexterity
shame."
save, Britt. I want a deception check.
Oh, sorry, I thought you said deception, but hey,
I don't know if I.
It's happening. Here we go.
Dexterity by
Oh,
accident.
that's horrible.
Oh damn.
Oh dang.
Oh
Lost
dang.
all audio. I don't know what's happening.
Uh-oh, Spaghetti-O.
Uh-oh, Spaghetti-O.
Rob is frozen.
Hey, Rob. How's it going?
Look, there's nothing else to do while waiting for these technical difficulties.
Well, I actually
Well,
do.
should we do the performance? Let's do the performance.
No. I do have something. I do have something I want to do during technical difficulties. I forgot to mention at the beginning that the stream is sponsored by D&D.
Yes.
Thank you, D&D.
Those gracious, lovely people at Wizards of the Coast who, Rob looks like he's working now. He's just leaving away. Anyway, so as I was saying, we're sponsored by D&D because they're trying to get the word out of people playing D&D safe while in isolation because of COVID-19. And they've given a whole lot of the resources that you would have to pay for that D&D have. They've put for free on their website, and I've put a link to that in the description of this video. So if you want to start trying out D&D, or you already play D&D and you need some extra resources, go over to the website.
Best time to get into it.
Yeah, it's literally the best time to get into it. So you could go over and check
learn
that out.
Learn some D&D.
Yeah,
We should also probably mention that we've got a new D&D channel.
Yes.
Oh, good idea, Ben. Yeah, we do.
There is also a link to the new D&D channel, and if you missed episode 1 of this series, it is on that D&D channel now, so you could go over there. There's a link, again, in the description to youtube.com/VLDL D&D, and you could go watch episode 1. And then this episode will be live tomorrow. So
I'm so excited. Can we get
let's get this performance done out of the way, and then we can just tell Rob that we've done it. So everyone over in the corner.
Okay, yeah. Let's all walk into the corner.
Working. Maybe if I.
Should we go into that corner?
Oh, that's good.
Let's perform in the fight corner.
Let's perform in the fight corner.
Okay, so we're all doing a performance in the fight corner.
Fight corner? Okay,
yeah,
sweet.
Fight corner. And now if we all
finally, goodness, finally.
Yes, we can hear you, Rob. And we're doing a performance.
Start of you are completely stuttering out, and I don't know why.
Nah, he's gone. Rob's pretty much gone.
Okay.
Why?
Rob, while we're waiting for the technical difficulties, we're about to finally get on with our performance.
Alright, let's go.
So if we all do a performance check, we'll see who's the best at this performance.
Lay the beats down, techno robot.
Here we go, performance incoming. Oh, I got a 19. Yes, here we go.
I'm going performance.
Got a 4. Come on.
Bingo.
2 again.
We're safe. You need to do a great techno beat.
Here we go.
Alright.
And
Here
going.
comes the techno beat.
Yo, my name is Torok. I like to rock. I like rocks, and I like to rock. Rock. Torok.
Word.
Rock.
And I'm just doing my jig and I fall off the table. Oh shit.
And Brit's jig is terrible.
Right. Over to me. What do we see? We see Zaza, and he's sitting over here. He's gonna drink a beer. He's gonna wear some underwear. His name is Zaza, and he can't be far from the nearest.
And now, just a director's note. Right now, we cut away from what we're doing to the view of Wraith, and it's just burning. It's like Wraith is just like on fire. Like towers are just toppling over. There are screaming children in the streets. Cut back to us in the tavern.
And here we go.
I like to rock. I don't wear no socks. To rock. I have cock. Look at it.
Whoa! Hello.
Here it is.
Very
Here.
Steiner.
Oh god.
Okay, Torok. Okay,
There it
Torok.
is.
Put that
Oh
down.
goodness.
Rock
We all
microphone.
see it. We all see
Straight
it.
from the top of my dome.
Quick question. When I was doing the D&D shout out before, was my voice still in robot mode?
Nah.
Okay.
No.
I see. Rob, it seems like
See,
we
I
have
can
you
hear
back.
you. I can see you.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
I've put you through onto my mobile data hotspot, so hopefully that.
Oh god. Let's try that.
Hopefully that
do
doesn't.
you think you're
Genuinely no idea
what's going on.
Hopefully it doesn't.
Like
Well, just so you know, Rob, while you were away, we did a pretty amazing performance for the. for the bar.
I did hear. I could hear all of it. I just for some
Oh.
reason you can't hear me. And
it seems to be.
Anyway.
It's working-ish now.
It's working out.
You're
Your
good.
video's stuttery, but your video's the audio is fine.
So I think by the looks of that, the robot beatboxing is the best part of it.
Thank you.
Alfie didn't really contribute anything to the performance.
No, I danced on the table and I fell off.
Dan Stanton fell off, contributing his dexterity and his pratfalling slapstick.
Yeah.
The rest of you were kind of average. Brit, you're kind of striking out here, it seems, with a 4 performance. That's because you're
I don't
performing
know.
in a different manner
Art is
outside.
subjective, Rob. I think it was great, personally.
She quickly ran inside for the performance and then ran back outside to
Okay.
shadowing us.
Torok pulls Alfie to the side and he's like, maybe you should dancing at keep hurting himself.
All right.
Keep hurting
So,
himself.
so were you actually making a performance, or were you doing something else in that time? Well, Brit ran out. Barb ran outside.
So Barb just
ran
told
over
the
into
hooded
the corner,
guy.
he started
Barb
the
was like to the
performance.
hooded guy, like, wait here.
Yeah. BRB.
BRB.
I need to get
With only the bartender, his wife, and their friend, the waitress, in the pub with a monk and 2 guards, you don't earn a heck of a lot of money for the performance.
Ah, damn.
Barb,
Yeah.
that's going to be a 24 to hit.
What?
What?
Sorry, what's going to be a 24?
Wait.
That's going to be a 24 to hit.
Sorry, what is going to be a 24 to hit?
What's going on? Who's,
He has
who's
his
fighting
hand
Barb?
up. He has his hand up on the wall beside your head, and then he's just asked, "Do you don't remember anything?" You said, "Kind of not, no." And then you feel a stabbing pain in your gut. And
Right.
you quickly glance down, and you see his hand embedded with a short sword in it,
Oh my god.
and it would easily, probably up to the hilt of the short sword.
Oh
I'm
my.
I'm sure this is really good what he's saying.
You take a combined 19 points of damage.
Oh my god.
You know what? Let this be a lesson, right? Don't date. Don't follow strangers into dark alleyways.
yeah,
Don't
Stay
follow your
safe.
heart.
Maybe-
Never
yeah.
follow your heart.
Don't.
Well,
How
maybe
about-
if a hooded, shadowed creature gets very aggressive with you, don't get turned on and run after it.
run into an
Barb's a
alleyway
tiefling.
outside.
She's developing social skills still. She doesn't know. This is a teaching This is a
Barb?
teaching moment.
That's 19 points of piercing damage.
I
She's
just happen to
like-
be looking out the window and I go, Bob! And I
Well,
run out the
all
window
of us
and
You
I
are
go,
have
in
not
that
been. You have not been looking out the window. You were, which is deliberately why I asked you what you were doing inside.
Oh,
So we're
no.
gonna roll
Let's
initiative
try,
at
let's
that
try.
point.
You would cut out at that point.
No, I heard him say that.
He did say that, yeah.
Okay.
So we're gonna
You,
roll.
I'm
we're
drinking
going
my
to roll
drink,
initiative, and that seems like a good place to pick up next time, I guess.
Oh god. So we should
Man.
roll initiative now or when we pick up next time.
We'll roll it next time so that it's all
Okay.
all done at once.
Okay.
Wow. Shit just got extremely real very quickly.
Yes, it
Wow,
did.
yeah.
Oh
we
my
were like
god.
dancing a jig on the table and Barb's getting fucking stabbed.
Oh my god.
I mean,
While City of Wraith
my
burns in the background.
Well, City of Wraith burns.
City of Wraith burns, Barb's being stabbed in the gut, and we're just like
Literally just so- Just so I know how far I can go. Oh, okay, good. I just need safety for the next week in my mind to know how far I can get in the next turn.
Probably for
Well,
the
let's
best.
end it there.
Yeah. that's it, yeah.
Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. Stuff has got real already in this episode, and yet Wraith still burns as well.
So far in
as-
the story, the heroes have achieved absolutely nothing.
We are the worst heroes ever. This is
I
why
don't know,
Wraith,
we beat those weird little goblin things.
Oh yes.
we
Wraith
did do
is,
that.
Wraith is going to burn to the ground. Anyway, thanks everyone for watching, and again, thank you
Yeah.
D&D for sponsoring. If you guys do want to go and check out, consider playing D&D, you could go to their website with the link below and see some of the free resources and give it a crack, because it is good fun.
It's
great fun.
It's quite, as Rob said last time, it is quite addictive.
All right, thank you very much.
Thanks very much for
Bye.
watching,
Subscribe to our D&D channel.
everyone. I need to end stream. Bye bye.